Wyvern Creations presents Horton Storm RDX shooting techniques. Shooting a Horton Storm is like driving a sports car. You can't just hop in it and drive, you got to learn it. This particular bow requires a little bit of trigger time to really figure it out, but it's incredibly accurate once you do. 2 points on this bow that need to be addressed when you're shooting it. One is the fact that there's no weight on the front end. The balance point on this bow is to the rear. It's really comfortable to shoot, very well balanced. The problem is because the light front end, it can easily drift on you. You have to control that drift in your rest when you're shooting it. Otherwise you won't get a nice tight grouping. The other factor is the trigger. It's not a zero creep trigger where you can just pull through and it's going to break instantly. You have to allow for the travel and draw it back in a nice smooth motion like you would almost like a shotgun. If you learn to control the trigger and hold on to that front end, it's going to be incredibly accurate. A more traditional style compound crossbow has all the weight towards the front end of the bow. That extra weight up front makes a little bit more stable shooting from a rest because the weight of the riser will take up that slack for you so it doesn't drift as much. This one here, you got to control it a bit more, and I'm going to show you the proper way to do it. Okay. We're going to shoot this 2 different ways. One's going to be the way most people are taught to shoot their rifles out of a rest. Very little pressure on the front, very little pressure on the rear, and drawing through smoothly on the trigger. What's going to happen is that rests have a tendency to control rearward motion. A gun, when it shoots, recoils backwards. Crossbows don't. They recoil forwards. So this tends to cause the front end to lurch forward and up off the rest when you shoot. What ends up happening is you'll find that your groupings widen up and it's pretty much a shotgun effect. One arrow can go all over the place and you can't figure out why. What the next group will do is I'll show you how to properly shoot it from a rest, and you can adjust your shooting style accordingly and see the difference in the grouping. As you can see, I've got no pressure at all in the front end's able to float, and I'm going to slowly creep through the trigger. See the lurch? We'll show you the groupings on the next shot. At 20 yards, this group would kill a deer, but it's nowhere near the potential this bow has to shoot. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back and I'm going to show you how to hang on to the bow and control it to tighten up this grouping. The proper way to shoot this bow is to get a hold of the foregrip and pull it down into the forerest so you're controlling that front end and pull it back towards your shoulder. So you have a nice solid grip. It's not a death grip. You want a good solid grip on it though to be able to control that lurch we saw before. When you go to use the trigger, nice smooth quick draw through. It's not a jerk. You just want to travel through nice and simple. Notice the difference in the lurch. There isn't anywhere near as much lurch on this one as there was in the last one where it wasn't controlling the shot. This is more what I would expect from this bow. All 3 arrows are touching. 20 yards, don't shoot the same spot. You're just going to break arrows. Potential difference of this bow between how I was able to control it this time and last time is a marked improvement. One more thing with this bow is when using the dead sled to cock it, don't go slowly. You want to get a nice, smooth, fairly fast draw on it. And down, hook it onto the rail, hook it onto the string, back in all one smooth, quick motion. Visit us at www.wyverncreations.com.